On the night of January 13th, 1782, a woman named Anna Gilda was dragged from a prison cell in Glarus, Switzerland, led to a public square, and beheaded. Her crime? Witchcraft. She was the last person executed for witchcraft in European history. More than 226 years later, the Swiss government officially apologized for her execution. But here's what history rarely tells you. The little girl who accused Anna of bewitching her, the convulsions, the visions, the needles she supposedly vomited, the demons she claimed to see was almost certainly not cursed at all. She had eaten bread, and that bread contained something invisible, no color, no smell, no taste. A fungus so chemically powerful that centuries later, it helped scientists accidentally create one of the world's most famous psychedelic drugs. Anna Gilda wasn't killed because of magic. She was killed because nobody in 1782 understood chemistry. To understand what happened, you need to understand one grain, rye. For centuries, poor families across Europe survived on rye bread. During wet summers, a dark purple fungus called claviceps purpurea infected the grain. Farmers couldn't tell the difference. They harvested it, ground it into flour, baked it into bread, and fed it to their families. Inside that fungus were powerful chemicals called ergot alkaloids. These compounds closely resemble the brain's own neurotransmitters, allowing them to interfere with the nervous system. At high doses, they cut off blood supply to fingers and toes, causing limbs to die, a condition once called St. Anthony's fire. But at lower doses, they caused terrifying hallucinations. People saw figures standing in their rooms, they heard voices, they felt invisible forces attacking them. To their brains, the visions were completely real. Anna worked as a cook for a wealthy family. In the autumn of 1781, the family's young daughter began suffering violent convulsions, vomiting, and terrifying visions. She screamed that something evil was attacking her. The attacks often happened after meals. Anna prepared those meals. She became the obvious suspect. She fled. She was captured, tortured, until she confessed to using magic, found guilty, and on January 13, 1782, she was beheaded. Centuries later, science offered another explanation. In 1943, Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann was studying ergot alkaloids when he accidentally absorbed a tiny amount of a new compound. On his bicycle ride home, the world transformed around him. Shapes shifted, colors breathed. Reality itself seemed to melt. The compound was LSD. It came directly from the same fungus that had been growing on European rye fields for centuries. Not the exact same chemical that poisoned medieval bread, but part of the same chemical family. Close enough to trigger seizures, close enough to produce terrifying visions, close enough to convince an entire town that witchcraft was real. Anna Gilda was not the only victim. Similar symptoms appeared throughout European history, including during famous witch trials, where countless innocent people were imprisoned or executed because nobody understood what contaminated grain could do to the human brain. The terror was real. The suffering was real. Only the explanation was wrong. Anna Gilda was not a witch. She was a cook living in a world that had no words for neurotransmitters, fungi, or alkaloids. She died because chemistry was centuries ahead of science. On the night of January 13, 1782, an innocent woman lost her life. The evidence was never in magic. It was hidden in a simple loaf of bread.